Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. So, Manchester United are determined to sell Chris Smalling. Obviously we're looking to raise funds so we can sign Dayat Upamecano from RP Leipzig. Now Fabrizio Romano claims that a new Roma bid is incoming. Now, obviously, Roma wanted to get Chris Smalling on a permanent deal during our Europa League campaign. But reportedly, Roma were only willing to offer up to like £12 million. Obviously, we revealed our asking price for Smalling, and I think we said we wanted around £18 million. It did recently say as well that Inter Milan were interested in Smalling, I think a few weeks ago. I think a few clubs have been interested in him. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did recently say that Smalling does have a future at Manchester United. And he did say he was in regular contact with Smalling whilst he was out on loan with Roma. Because obviously he was out on loan with Roma last season. Obviously Roma did pay around the £2.7 million loan fee to get him on loan. And I'm actually no surprised that Roma didn't get him permanently, or they didn't extend his loan at least. But Chris Smalling did reveal that he was very, very happy with Roma. But I think we'll definitely get rid of him, yeah. Obviously Chris Smalling's still under contract with Man United until 2022. Chris Smalling has been a long servant though at the football club. We did get Chris Smalling back in 2010 from Fulham. So he's actually been with us since the Alex Ferguson era. So Chris Smalling's enjoyed a good 9 or 10 years, with Manchester United. And some United fans do actually think that Smalling's a better centre-half than Victor Lindelof. But to be honest with you, we have got far too many centre-halves in the team. I think we've got around 7 centre-halves in the team. Obviously, we've got Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof that are our first-choice centre-halves. Obviously, we've got like Eric Bay and Tuan Zebe. They're our backup centre-halves. Like I said, we've got Smalling. We've got, obviously, Rojo. He's another player I think we're looking to get rid of. Rojo was recently on loan with Estudiantes. And we've also, of course, got Phil Jones. And we'll be also looking to offload him. So I think we'd probably accept maybe around £20 million for Chris Smalling. But he does want to go to Italy. He doesn't want to continue plying his trade in the Premier League. So yeah. So that is the news on Chris Smalling. Now, I want to give you some breaking news on Fred. Now, I updated you the other day about Fred, and there were stories coming out from Futtermac saying that Galatasaray were interested in Fred and they were looking to get him on loan. Now, reportedly, we've recently turned a loan offer down from Galatasaray. But Galatasaray have said, they're looking to get Fred on loan with the option to buy him at the end of the 2021 season. Now, obviously, Fred may find game time very, very difficult now because obviously Donny van de Beek is incoming at Manchester United. I like Fred a lot. He's enjoyed a few years, I think, now with Man United. Obviously, we got Fred in Jose Mourinho's final transfer window. We got Fred for around £52 million from Shakhtar Donetsk. And Fred has gone on to make like 73 appearances for Man United in all competitions, and I think he's scored around 3 goals. Fred has got a contract with us until 2023. But I thought for the vast majority of last season, he did very, very well, did Fred, to be quite honest with you. Definitely confounded his critics wrong, because Fred did receive a lot of criticism under the Jose Mourinho era. But there again, under the Jose Mourinho era, Fred never really got his opportunities. But actually, Fred has come out recently and said that he's looking to leave Manchester United. So possibly, he could go. So that's the breaking news on him. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is looking to make 3 more signings at Manchester United after Donny van de Beek is official. Now, you already know the news regarding Donny van de Beek. He's recently completed his medical in the Netherlands ahead of his £40 million move from Ajax to Manchester United. He's already, of course, agreed personal terms with the football club, and Donny van de Beek is going to sign a 5-year deal at Manchester United. That will obviously keep him at the football club until 2025, and I think there's also an option of a further year. Donny van de Beek, of course, is going to be our first signing in this summer transfer window, and he's going to be our 5th permanent signing overall under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. So it should be official sometime this week. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has actually convinced him to sign for the football club, because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Donny van de Beek recently had a conversation on the phone. We've obviously got to decide on his shirt number. I've heard that Solskjaer is keen on giving Donny van de Beek the number 10 at Manchester United, but I'm excited about the prospect of him coming in, because I think he'll complement Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes in our midfield. He really, really will. And I don't think a lot of Manchester United fans expected this to happen. I didn't think Donny van de Beek would have come to Manchester United, because don't forget, Barcelona were in for him. Ronald Koeman did confirm before he was officially appointed as Barcelona manager that, Donny van de Beek was his priority signing. Tottenham made a late approach for him, don't forget, but he did actually turn Tottenham down. And it actually said earlier on this year that Real Madrid had reached an agreement to get Donny van de Beek for around £47 million. But it did recently say anyway that Donny van de Beek wants to obviously make a move to the Premier League. This is what it had said. But I think it put Manchester United fans into meltdown. Obviously, when Donny van de Beek said to Marco Overmars and Edwin van der Sar that he will not be playing for Ajax again. Plus, he recently refused to play in Ajax's pre-season game against Frankfurt. So, obviously, he was left out of the squad. But we've been in for him for quite a while, because obviously, was it a few months ago, Edwin van der Sar had come out and made an admission saying that Donny van de Beek will be allowed to leave Ajax, but only for a suitable fee. Erik ten Hag, he also confirmed that Donny van de Beek's likely to leave Ajax in this summer transfer window. Ajax have let quite a few of their players go now. Donny van de Beek's on the verge of leaving them. Obviously, they lost Frankie de Jong to Barcelona last summer. They lost Matthijs de Ligt to Juventus last summer. And Hakim Ziyech left them back in February. He went to Chelsea. But I knew there was trustworthy in it, when Fabrizio Romano was talking about the saga. Because Fabrizio Romano is a very reliable Italian journalist and he's close to Man United. And he recently confirmed that Donny van de Beek to Man United's done. Obviously, Mohamed Bouafsi. If I said his surname correctly, he also confirmed yesterday that Donny van de Beek to Man United is a done deal, and he yesterday said goodbyes to his Ajax teammates and all of that. But he did recently tell his Ajax teammates that he's actually joining Manchester United. Donny van de Beek, was at Ajax for several years. I think in total he was there for 12 years, including, when he was in their youth setup. Because he joined Ajax's youth setup in 2008. In their youth setup for 7 years, and Donny van de Beek made his senior debut in 2015. He did score 41 goals in 175 appearances for Ajax in all competitions. And he did still have a contract with them until 2022. Now, in the 2018-19 season, Donny van de Beek was key for Ajax progressing to the Champions League semi-finals. Also in the 2018-19 season, Ajax won the domestic double. And Donny van de Beek, he's only the age of 23, so he has still got a lot of development in him. At Ajax he was primarily number 6. He's actually predominantly a box-to-box midfielder, but I think he can also be deployed as an attacking midfielder. But I've got to say, £40 million very cheap solution. I'm surprised, really, because we're known for spending big on players, and we've done that in recent years. We paid the likes of 75 million for Lukaku, 89 million for Pogba, 80 million pounds for Harry Maguire, 52 million for Fred, 40 million pounds for Matic. So I actually am surprised. So we're going to be a bit. I think we're going to be a bit more sensible with our recruitment now in this summer transfer window. But we know that we need more than Donny van de Beek at Manchester United, and this, like I said, this is why Solskjaer's come out and said, he's looking to make 3 more signings. Like I said, we're going to try and get Dayot Upamecano from RP Leipzig. I think he'd do very, very well alongside Harry Maguire in our back line. Again, cheap solution. He recently extended his contract with RP Leipzig until 2023, and this does include a €42 million release clause, and that equates to just over 37 million in pounds sterling. But by the way, I've just got to say, I don't think this can be triggered until next summer. But I think you're still getting for a reasonable fee. But on his recent contract, which was obviously due to expire next year, his release clause was actually more. It was around £54 million. But Leipzig have come out and said that Dayot Upamecano is not for sale, with him recently signing a contract extension. Dayot Upamecano is only the age of 21. He's endured around 3 years with RP Leipzig. RP Leipzig did pay around €10 million for him from Red Bull Salzburg in 2017. Also, too, Arsenal have been long admirers of him as well. I think Tottenham have now also expressed their interest. Obviously, we're interested in Thiago Alcantara from Bayern Munich. Now, obviously, Bayern Munich's CEO, Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, he recently said that Bayern Munich are expecting an offer for Thiago Alcantara in the coming days. Liverpool have been emerged as the favourites to sign him, but now, according to recent reports, we've moved ahead of Liverpool in the race, and we have recently held negotiations with Thiago over a possible move. Now, obviously, Liverpool are reluctant to meet Borussia Dortmund's Bayern Munich's £27 million asking price. I think the reason is because Liverpool are aware he is available on a free transfer next year, because that's when his current contract does expire. Now, it says Liverpool will only step their interest up if Gini Wijnaldum was to leave them in this summer transfer window. I'd take Thiago at Manchester United. He's done very, very well at Munich. Obviously, he's endured 7 seasons with Bayern Munich. Scored 31 goals in 235 games in all competitions. At Bayern Munich, he has won 16 major honours. Recently won the Champions League with them. And Bayern Munich did pay around €25 million for him from Barcelona. His versatility is also good. I think he can play as a central mid, which is a box-to-box obviously. He can play as a holding midfielder, and he can also be deployed as an attacking midfielder. And Thiago is in his late 20s. I think he's 29 years of age. Obviously, we're still trying to get Jadon Sancho on the board. Maybe there's still a possibility chance that Man United could sign Jadon Sancho in this summer transfer window. As you all know, he is our number 1 priority target. We have been in for Jadon Sancho, I think, for the last 3 years now. But obviously, around 3 or 4 weeks ago, it was looking very, very imminent that Sancho was going to be signing for Manchester United. Fabrizio Romano had even confirmed that negotiations between Man United and Dortmund were at an advanced stage, and he actually said that Sancho agreed personal terms with Man United, and he obviously said he was set to sign a 5-year contract with a football club worth around 340 grand a week. But he said just after that talks have broken down due to Borussia Dortmund's asking price. But Borussia Dortmund's valuation is around £108 million, and obviously, we're not determined to meet their valuation. But it's been Borussia Dortmund's asking price that has been the stumbling block throughout the course of this Jadon Sancho transfer saga. I think, Sancho is an exceptional player, but I just don't think he's worth what Dortmund are demanding. I think he's probably worth, at the tops, from between 70 to 80 million pounds. And recently, we have been looking at a lot of alternatives to Sancho because there is much cheaper solutions than him out there. But prior to the news regarding Donny van der Beek, everything was going wrong for Manchester United in this summer transfer window. Obviously, it's took us a while, to get our first signing on the board. Also, we recently had the incident with Harry Maguire. Brandon Williams, he recently got injured. Like I said, Wan-Bissaka, he's set to miss the start of pre-season training because he recently travelled to Dubai. He's got a quarantine for 14 days. Paul Pogba, he recently got tested for coronavirus. And obviously, Rashford recently got an ankle injury, and Rashford is a doubt for England's games against Denmark and Iceland. But the news regarding Donny van der Beek is definitely the first piece of good news for Manchester United without a shadow of a doubt. But it'll give us more confidence because I did say to you recently, didn't I? Man United were definitely beginning to lose patience with the board. Obviously, with the lack of transfer activity. We've been very critical of Woodward and the Glazers and all that for several years anyway, reflecting on how poor our recruitment policy's been. There's other reasons behind it as well. Obviously Woodward's been at the football club since 2012 and the Glazers have been at the football club since 2005. So the Glazers have been with Man United around 8 years. And Woodward's been at Man United around 8 years, and the Glazers have been at Manchester United around 15 years. But don't forget, Woodward has said a lot of times that, he's determined to back Solskjaer in this summer transfer window. And he also has assured a few times that Solskjaer's job is safe, even when we went through that bad period. The Glazers also said, they're determined to back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But Solskjaer is definitely not to blame with how, with the lack of transfer activity, up until this point. Because Solskjaer did publicly come out and admit that Manchester United have got to spend money in this summer transfer window. Obviously, if we are to compete with the likes of Manchester City and Liverpool. But Solskjaer, outlined his transfer plans at the end of last season, instructing our board saying, look, I want Man United to spend a substantial amount. And Solskjaer did say minimum he wants to make 3 signings in this summer transfer window. And he's already identified the areas in the squad where he does want to strengthen up. Because Solskjaer obviously knows there's still key areas where Man United are lacking. We need a right winger. We possibly need a striker. We definitely need a centre-half. Some United fans will say we even need a left-back. But Solskjaer has spent just over £200 million at Manchester United so far. Like I said, in his first transfer window, Solskjaer didn't recommend anyone in. But in the summer of 2019, which was last summer, he obviously brought Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. And in January, of course, he brought Bruno Fernandes and Odi Ighalo in. Obviously, he brought Odi Ighalo on loan. And, Solskjaer's recently brought a few academy players in. So it's good that, we're bringing more young players in. We've got a lot of good young players coming through at Manchester United anyway. So there you go. But like I've said to you, this season is the big test for Solskjaer. It really, really is. And it's not long now until this season starts. It's under 2 weeks now. We have obviously got Crystal Palace on the opening day of the Premier League season. Should have been Burnley, but got cancelled due to the European games and all of that, didn't it? Palace is a game we should win. We've got Brighton after. That's another game Man United should win. Tottenham's the third game. That's going to be the first test. But within our first 7 games, like I've said, we've got Tottenham, Arsenal, Chelsea and Everton, and they're all going to be tough games for Man United. So I think it's very, very imperative that we do have a strong start to the season. If everything was to go wrong this season, then Solskjaer could be back under pressure. as Manchester United manager, because at the first part of last season, when we enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season, Solskjaer was very, very close to getting sacked as Man United manager. But our expectations this season, providing that we get all the players that we want in, will be to challenge for the Premier League title, because I want us to win a title under Solskjaer, and also to win a major honour, because we've not yet won out in terms of silverware under the Solskjaer era, and we haven't won a major honour for over 3 years, and that's the first time this has happened in 31 years. And I want to see improvements this season, because there's still improvements needed at Man United. I still think there's certain players that have got to improve, as you know, such as Maguire, Lindelof. You know, Bay's got to improve his fitness. I think he'll remain at Man United for this season. Luke Shaw's obviously got to improve his fitness because he's obviously, you know, injury prone. De Gea's obviously, you know, got to improve, because I don't think we'll sell De Gea in this summer transfer window. So players have definitely got to improve. I just hope this season that, you know, the youngsters continue getting their opportunities, because it's beneficial. Because, you know, obviously they'll get more experience behind them. They really, really will. I like the way Solskjaer as well did. I like the way he promoted the youth last season. Definitely Solskjaer's got to improve his decision making, because in a lot of games last season he was very tactically naive. But I thought in some games he showed a lot of tactical flexibility in that. So improvements needed still at Manchester United. But don't get me wrong, I have seen improvements under Solskjaer. You know, I won't take anything away from that. You know, recruitment's improved under him, definitely. You know, he's got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended into Man United. I think his approach to a lot of the big games last season were also very, very good. And, you know, don't forget, we are unbeaten in the league since January. You know, we're unbeaten in our last 14 league games. Don't forget, we went on 19-game unbeaten run in all competitions until Chelsea had beaten us in the FA Cup semi-final, and that was our best vein of form since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the interim manager. But last season, of course, was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first full season at the club, and he did well. You know, he exceeded most of his expectations. Obviously, you know, got us to 3 semi-finals, got us to the FA Cup semi-final, got us to the Europa League semi-final, and got us to the EFL Cup semi-final. Also got us qualification for the Champions League. And I did say how important Champions League was for our players, attracting players and for the financial structure. And we also finished 3rd. So he didn't do too bad. He really, really didn't. But Solskjaer has now been at Manchester United for around 20 months. It's around 20 months he's been at the football club. But like I said, it's a transition period for Man United, and obviously, you know, it has been a transition period for a while. Like I've said to you before, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is inheriting a squad that is worth £700 million, disregarding who he's brought in so far. So he's still in the process of rebuilding this Man United team. You know. But like I said to you, Solskjaer's got decisions to make at Man United. He's definitely got a goalkeeping decision to make. I think he's definitely got to put Dean Henderson as our number 1 for this season, because I'll say what I've said on my recent videos. I think Dean Henderson is now reliable enough to become our number 1 goalkeeper. And I think he's got that experience behind him. I really, really do. But Solskjaer did recently say that Dean Henderson is not yet ready to become Man United's number 1 goalkeeper. He said he wants to stick with David De Gea as number 1 for at least this season. Solskjaer did say, you know, he's actually not facing a goalkeeping dilemma. He said that during our Europa League campaign. We know that Harry Maguire's obviously going to keep the captain, say that, well, that's what it said anyway, but you know, I said, didn't I, recently, Solskjaer's got a decision to make on Harry Maguire. You know, he's obviously going to get rid of more players in this summer transfer window, because quite frankly, you know, he's still deadwood at Manchester United. You know, we could get rid of up to 8 players in this summer transfer window. Obviously, we're looking to get rid of the likes of Lingard, Pereira, like I said, Smalling, Rojo, Jones, Delors. You know, Romero's obviously, you know, open to leaving Manchester United. So, yeah. But we'll sell players in the summer transfer window. We'll generate money. And obviously, that will help us with our rebuilding process. We've loaned a few players out, as you all know. Tahith Chon recently got loaned out. I think Dylan Levitt and James Garner have also been loaned out. And don't forget, we've just loaned Joe Pereira back out. But that's the right decision. So, obviously, you know, they can get regular first-team football. You know, but I don't know if Solskjaer has a foreseeable future for Man United. I think this season will tell the story. You know, in the last 7 years, you know, we've made a lot of mistakes. You know, that's one of the main explanations we've been so inconsistent. Obviously, in the last 7 years, we spent £900 odd million on players, and we've recruited a good 33 players in since Ferguson's retirement. We've had different managers, obviously, with different philosophies at the club. Obviously, we've only won 3 trophies since Ferguson retired, and that was the FA Cup under Van Gaal and the Europa League and the League Cup under Jose Mourinho. But I've said to you, haven't I, you know, it's going to be hard for any manager at Manchester United to replicate Ferguson's legacy or to last as long as Ferguson did. Because obviously, you know, Ferguson endured a good 26, 27 years at Man United, endured over 20 odd years of success. But he didn't settle in straight away, because don't forget, Ferguson didn't win out in his first 4 years at the club. But Ferguson won a total of 38 major honours when he was at Man United. So most of our success came under him. In the entirety of our history, we have actually, you know, won 45 trophies. But like I said, we have not won the Premier League since 2013. You know. But we have won 20 titles, and 13 of them are Premier League. So as it stands at the moment, we are the most successful team in Premier League history. You know. So there you go. That's everything to update you today, guys. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.